وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. You sound like you didn't eat any appetizers. I'm sure you. How many people ate appetizers? Raise your hand. We don't want to know how many samosas, just how much that you ate, right? MashaAllah, Brother Abdul Malik Mujahid gave a very heartfelt presentation of the work that's being done, and then when he finished, the applause and the takbir was not equivalent to the years of passion that he's given for this. So in honor of what he did, takbir, mashallah. And then our president talked about Nabic, your organization, all of the great work that's being done. And then when he finished, you sounded like you wanted to go on to dinner. You're like, what's next? Where's dinner? Is that guy with the beard going to come and ask for money? Can we just go to dinner? Right? So in honor of Nabic and the great work that they're doing and the President's recent trip, takbir. Allahumma ati munfikan khalafa. Say ameen. This is the dua we'll keep repeating. It was taught to us by Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every morning sends two angels to see which one of his servants spends in the path of Allah, which one of them holds back. To the one who spends, the angels make a dua, and that's the dua in Arabic, Allahumma ati munfikan khalafa. In English, oh Allah, replace the wealth that's being spent. Brothers and sisters, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, one of the greatest of the khulafa who came after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was walking through the market one day. And as he was walking through the market, he overheard a man making dua. And he went closer to listen to what the man was saying, and the man was repeating, Allahumma aj'alni min al-qalil. Oh Allah, make me from among the few. Umar heard this, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, heard this dua, and he was baffled. He said, where did you get this dua? He said, where? Because this is not something he had heard. Why do you keep repeating, oh Allah, make me from among the few? Oh Allah, make me from among the few. The man said, don't you remember, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, don't you remember? In Surah Saba, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse 13, وَقَلِيلًا مِنْ عِبَادِي أَشْكُرُ, that only a few of my servants give gratitude. Only a few of my servants show gratitude. So when I asked you to say takbir or clap and these things, the work that Brother Abdul Malik and our President and Nabic are doing, Allah knows their reward. But what I was trying to get us to do was to show gratitude that on our behalf, someone is doing this work. Not all of us can. We have family, we have work commitments, we have community commitments. I saw several of you at the Shelter Rock Islamic Center on Friday night, and I had a board meeting to leave to, so I left and my flight was delayed, which I don't want to look informal, but I didn't have any chance. So I came straight from the airport to here because this is important. So when we look at the work and the task ahead of us in terms of the Rohingya population, you may become overwhelmed and you say, I don't know how many times we've been giving and giving and giving money to this cause. And how much more can we do? Today, for the next few minutes, I want you to actually think about two things. Number one, our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the next few minutes, don't worry about our brothers and sisters of the Rohingya population, or the Kashmiris, or the Palestinians, or the Uyghur, for the next few minutes only. I just want you to think about your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is that like? And I can tell you without a doubt that as a student of immigration, that one of the things that happened because of this hijrah, right? They are being forced out of their land, but many of us made voluntary hijrah, voluntary migration to the United States. We came because we wanted to. We came as a result of family reunification. We came as a result of the diversity lottery visa. Whatever reason Allah willed for us to be here, I can tell you, the data always shows, especially among Muslims, and particularly from Bangladesh, that the numbers of practicing and the degree of practice keeps going up and stronger. up and stronger, which is why everywhere you go, in New York, in Virginia where I am, people are building new masjids. Every month you hear about a new masjid or a masjid expansion. So how close are we to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Number one. Number two is the idea of gratitude. Is the idea of gratitude. Just think, how much did Allah bless me with? Again, for the next few minutes. And how much could I give thanks and show thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How much could I give? Was it the actual health? Was it that someone in the family was suffering from health issues? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His mercy, as Shafi, the healer, He's the one who lifted that burden from that family member, and so we give gratitude. We give gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لِرَبِّهِ لَقَنُودٌ. That indeed, from among the human, and in that case it's humanity, not just Muslims. In that case, in the insan, humanity, are the ones who show little gratitude. Little gratitude. So, how do we show gratitude? Number one, for the blessings Allah gave us. Blessings Allah gave us. Number two, for the harm that He prevents from reaching us. The harm. There's turbulence in the plane. Brother Abdul Malik travels a lot, you know that. When we're away from our families, we're in the sky at 35,000 feet, and the plane starts to shake heavily. You don't know if you will hit the ground and come back down to see your family, to complete whatever it is that you had missing from giving back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah makes it happen. You show up and you keep working. Maybe some of you have family members in 2018 or 19 now, went to the doctor for a diagnosis, a biopsy, because somebody was complaining of something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevented harm from reaching your family. The diagnosis came back negative. When something doesn't exist, we say negative in medicine. Positive means the condition is there. Maybe you were in traffic and you screeched the brakes and you came fast at the other car, but alhamdulillah, just by few inches you stopped, no accident. And if the accident happened, nobody was injured. Alhamdulillah, you can replace the car, but you cannot replace people. So as we think about the Rohingya population, as we think about Nabic's work, and the acronym is beautiful, we call it REACH, REACH. So when you're reaching for something, it begins with relief, it has education, all these components of healthcare. It has the ability to say that yes, we came to America, yes, we are living here now, but we are not disconnected from the rest of our family members wherever they are suffering. Wherever they are suffering. And in the case of the Rohingya brothers and sisters, it is only we who just woke up to their suffering. Their suffering has been going on for decades. The first time the Ethnic Citizenship Acts were revised to remove their identity, they were already in trouble. That was in the 1980s. They were already in trouble. But it takes us CNN, BBC, NPR to wake up. But alhamdulillah, now we're awake. So tonight, I want you to really reflect. Because what I see, this is a Nabic function. What I see is that we have come back and forth, as the President said, to New York, and each time the community has said, we will do our share. And not just for Nabic, because I have seen you in the fundraising events for CARE. I have seen you for fundraising events for other masajids, for Helping Hand, for ICNA relief, and yet you keep coming back. Why? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the angels make the dua, Allahumma ati munfiqan khalafa, there is not a single person tonight, if I say to you, you donated before, everything in your life was exactly the same. No. Every person will say, something changed. Some good news came. Allah answered our dua. Every single time we were giving, somehow barakah and other news was coming to replace whatever we were giving. So we're going to start tonight. We're going to start tonight by reflecting on gratitude, by reflecting on the connection with Allah, because with every gift that you give, the people we will never meet. These are people we'll probably never meet, except if you go particularly to Cox's Bazar and other places, you may meet some people who are in charge, but not the actual people who benefit from our assistance. So number one tonight, feel free to renew your intention and say, oh Allah, for whatever reason I left home today, right? We come to the Elks Lodge. Remember the history lesson I gave you last time? The logo of the Elks Lodge over there? Anybody remember that logo? Look at the moose. The moose's horns, the two horns are at the 11 o'clock hour. That's what that is. It's giving you the signal of what this house used to be like. Their intention to come here was to avoid the law. To avoid the law and to hang out starting at 11 p.m. and to do whatever it is they thought they would do. Today, we have mentioned the name of Allah. We have mentioned the Prophet ﷺ. We have made our intention to turn this same building, same premise, same space into a place where Allah's name is mentioned and dua is being made. Number one, renew your intention. Number two, be convinced. I don't want you to feel stressed. Be convinced that you were appointed by Allah to be in this hall at this moment, right now, and nowhere else. Nowhere else. If my flight was further delayed, Brother Abdul Malik would have had to do the fundraising. Somebody has to do it. Because Allah willed that this is how it would happen. Somebody else has to step up. But you are here, you are not in traffic. You are here, you are not in the hospital ill. You are here, you are not at home with someone else who is ill, and you're able to come here and be with us. So that's the second thing. And the last but not least, your dua means a lot to the work that's being done. Not only by Sound Vision, but by Nabic and every other organization. Why? Because the sincere dua of a believer, especially the Prophet peace be upon him said, for the believer who is absent, and the angels respond for you something similar to the dua that you made for that person who is absent. And imagine how powerful. All of you, mashallah, tabarakallah, on a Sunday night, right? It's getting a little bit colder, it's getting darker earlier, but you left home to be here because Allah indeed wanted you to be here. So tonight, I want you to think, what can we do? What can me and my family do, number one? You can either do it immediately or you can do it in pledges. In a pledge, you can break up the amounts that you give. Number two, you can say, you know what? I will actually become an ambassador of goodwill. I will go and ask others to work with me, and we will raise a certain amount for Nabic to do these projects in healthcare, in education. One child who receives primary healthcare in this earliest of infancy could turn the events around if Allah wills that through our funds raised, that child's health is restored and that child grows up, subhanAllah, to be a peacemaker in the worst of horrors that is unfolding. And we would have been responsible by just donating a little bit of what we have. So you have the money, you make the pledges, or you become an ambassador, inshallah, tonight, but don't feel stressed. Never feel stressed, because not a single penny more or less is going to be raised this evening, except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already written. This is already done. This work is already done. So the good news is, all the money Nabic wanted to raise has been raised. The bad news is, it's still in your pocket, I have to get it out. Are you with me? Yeah? Alright? So you see how that works? MashaAllah. Right? So you want to see, who among us says, I've been thinking about gratitude, I've been thinking about where I was and how Allah helped me and helped my family, helped my children, answered our du'as. Before this December 31st, because this 2019 tax year is coming to an end, my family and I, my business, my community, we will together do $10,000. In a gathering like this, I wanted to start higher, but Fazli Bhai is very merciful to you. He says, no, let's at least just ask by 10,000. That's 5 people giving 2,000 each in your group. Maybe you have a group who knows each other really well. You say, no, let me just raise my hand and I'll do 10,000 if you can do it as yourself, as a business. Or you do it with your friends. If you only raise 5 of that 10,000, Nabic will not come back and say, you owe us the remainder. Just tell them, I tried my best, and they will make dua, we will all make dua, and Allah will reward you. Why? It's a beautiful religion. The Prophet peace be upon him reminded us, when you make niyyah, intention, to do a good deed, but you're not able to do the good deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards you for the intention of having, as if you did the good deed. But you make the intention, you do the good deed, you get multiples of rewards as for having done the good deed. So where is that first person? A brother, sister, a group A business that says, we will together take away the ajr, the reward of the first $10,000. Again, 5 people giving 2 each, 10 friends giving 1,000. Maybe you go and get 20 friends giving 500, right? Okay, mashallah. So I gave him my right ear, because right ear is good news. If they come to the left ear, your car is about to be towed, right? So that's why I went this way. I don't want to give you more bad news, right? Mashallah, our president is giving us the news that 3 people together, pulled together, mashallah, to take away the reward for the first $10,000. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfikan khalafa. Say ameen. MashaAllah, that's beautiful. So I was saying that you have in this area, at least 20 friends. 20 friends who could give less than $1.50 a day, which is $500. Can you think of 20 people, bring them to your mind, and think, subhanAllah, it'd be beautiful if I encourage them that all together we will give 10,000. If each person gives 200, 500, somebody says, I'll give you more. Some says, I give less, but you take the reward of becoming that ambassador for the 10,000. Is there a second person or another masjid community or a business, however you want to get it done? $10,000. 10,000 going once, 10,000 going twice. Twice and a half, and maybe some of you are from Islamic schools. You can say, our school, not at 10,000 maybe, but at the other levels, our students, inshallah, will do a campaign and get it done. Anyone else at 10,000? 10,000 once, 10,000 twice. And by the way, you're wondering, how will I reach my friends? Right? How would I reach them? You're telling me to go and reach them? Has anybody heard of WhatsApp? Allah help us. Right? Is there somebody in the room who is not in a WhatsApp group? Anybody? I know, right? Even when you don't want to be in a WhatsApp group. MashaAllah. So we have the second one, and I can say the name? Yeah. Because you live here, I leave. I can say the name? Yeah, you can say. Okay, MashaAllah. So Dr. Rahman and friends, MashaAllah, will together take away the second $10,000. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfikan khalafa. Say ameen. So every time we make this dua, the angels are recording whether we say the name or we don't say the name. It's beautiful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, in the same verse, says the way you give, I don't mind whether you are doing it anonymously, privately, secretly, or publicly, in the same verse. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُم. Those who spend of their wealth. بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. By night and by day. How? سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً. In secret and also in public. However you do it, you get the same. فَلَهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. There's a reward for them from their Lord. Wala, amazing. The mental health issues. That's not going to go away. Even if we give them health care. Even if we repair broken bones and bodies, they will still have trauma for generations to come because of what they have experienced and what they're still experiencing. So the dua in that verse is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, spend from that which I gave you, وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Those are the people who will experience neither fear, khawf, wala, and anxiety or grief. None of that will touch people who donate, inshallah. So I'm going to move from 10,000, unless someone says, please hold on. We have another group of friends, mashallah, who will do the 10,000. Again, 10,000 once, and use WhatsApp, by the way, very powerful tool, right? My mother, mashallah, is on WhatsApp. My whole life has changed. My mother was almost, mashallah, 75, 76 years old, discovered WhatsApp. The problem with my mother and her friends and auntie network of WhatsApp is that they are 3 to 4 months behind in the news. Because they don't check it like we check it. We check it every 2 minutes. It's not WhatsApp, it's WhatsApp for us. Like every 2 minutes we check it. She doesn't check it, so she sends me things from 3-4 months ago. I have to remind myself, did I already see this? I think I know this happened. And I think I'm starting to predict the news now because of what she's doing to me, right? She shares things that already happened 3 months ago. So you have friends, right? Who can, inshallah, do that. So whether you raise your hands or you do it quietly, Allah records both. And it's our cultural misunderstanding that we made raising hands showing off. Do you think the companions of the Prophet, the beautiful souls that they were showing off when they came and the Prophet said, how much? Remember this? Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu ta'ala. How much did you bring? What did he say? How much did he bring of his wealth to donate? You guys forgot that the hadith didn't reach Queens yet? Half of his wealth. Public exercise. Not to compete for any other reason, but for the sake of Allah. What did Abu Bakr as-Siddiq? Sadaqah is a burhan, it's a proof. What did he bring? How much? Everything. Everything. That was a special soul. I've never been to an event where we asked you for half of your wealth or all of your wealth. We're asking you for generosity, for a portion of it, for your connection with Allah and for gratitude. So I'm going to move from 10,000 in the spirit of Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I'll give you a 50% discount. I know you're thinking about discounts, right? I'm going to give you a 50% discount and move to $5,000. I would hope that you can think of 20, those same 20 friends. If you thought that they wouldn't give 500, 20 of them giving 250 is $5,000. 20 friends giving 250 each. Can you get them and say, we'll take care of healthcare, education, poverty alleviation for our brothers and sisters from the Rohingya community? Again, 5 people giving 1,000 in that group, a business, right? However you want to do it. Do we have the first group? First group that says, mashallah, you have it, takbir. No, your takbir sounds like you woke up, you went to a board meeting, and you drove to the airport from Chicago, took a flight, landed, came straight from there. You sound like that. Right? But you had appetizers. I didn't. Let's try that again. Takbir. Say Ameen. MashaAllah. We have the first one here for 5,000. Second one, MashaAllah. You saw the moon? It's like moon sighting. You saw it? Alhamdulillah. Second one, MashaAllah. 3 and 4. We have 2 people at 5,000. 3 and 4. Again, be the ambassador of goodwill. You have to take on the challenge. Others are doing the work for us with policy, advocacy, healthcare, education. All we're doing is taking on the challenge to reach out to our friends and family to say, hey, can you support me? Third hand for 5,000. Again, maybe it's a small business, maybe it's another masjid community, maybe you talk to your masjid board and say, can we together raise this 5,000 for the sake of our brothers and sisters in the Rohingya community? Third hand for 5,000. We have 2 people already, 5,000. 5,000 going once. There must be someone. Sisters Network. Sisters Network is so powerful. May Allah bless us. I grew up in America. Even before cell phones, if we were misbehaving in one state, my mother would know all the way back in home state because of the auntie network. Because someone's grandmother's aunt's stepmother saw us somewhere and she immediately knew who that family was and made a phone call. Before you came home, mother said, what were you doing? I said, what do you mean, what was that? Yeah, I knew exactly where you were and what you were doing because of the auntie network. So can the auntie network take on the 5,000 and say, you know what, I'll talk to my friends and family and I'll discuss it, inshallah. I'll get them to give 100, 200, 300. We'll get the 5,000 raised. We have 2 hands at 5,000. Third hand before I move on. 5,000. 5,000 going once. 5,000 twice. Brother, sister, right? Don't take it lightly. The asking is being done. Be sure you give when the asking is being done. Don't wait. Don't wait till the end. Give it when the asking is being done. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, give when the asking is done, because you may want to give, and there may be no one left to receive it. MashaAllah. To Dr. Wahid al-Rahman, MashaAllah, no, you keep the check, MashaAllah. It's already made out. The third hand, is that the third or the second? I don't want to overcount. That's the third, right? Third hand, MashaAllah, for $5,000. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqan khalafa, say Ameen. And for your dental needs, right? You should go to, MashaAllah, Dr. Wahid and business, MashaAllah. No, because you have to promote businesses, why not? You work hard, and you know the kind of desserts we eat. Allah help the dentist, MashaAllah. Right? Like, please, like, why do you have to eat rasgullah before you go for your dentist appointment? You have to get it all out. So yeah, clean that, MashaAllah, right? So we have the third hand. Anyone else for 5,000? 5,000, right? 5,000. Remember who we are? We are among the few. We are among the few who saw the flyer, we responded, we came, inshallah we're benefiting, and we are among those who want to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fourth hand for 5,000 before I move on. 5,000 once, 5,000 twice, twice and a half, it could be 10 friends giving 500 each. Can you think of 10 friends? 10 friends. You know, in Jannah, it's amazing what we're told, in paradise, and I'll make a dua, oh Allah, grant all of us paradise. Say Ameen. Oh, your Ameen for paradise sounds really weak. Like, I would think you'd be desperate. You're like, Ameen, right? Like the people sometimes they make Ameen, then you wonder what they're making dua for, right? So I was making dua that all of us end up in paradise. Say Ameen. Alhamdulillah. In paradise, you will be there, you'll be young, without any needs, and you can bring to mind people you want to see, and Allah will bring them to you. SubhanAllah. If you bring those people to mind then, can you bring 10 people to mind now who could give 500 each, and together you'll be 5,000 together. I have 3 people already. The 4th one before I move on from 5,000. It's like a train of sadaqah, mashallah. And you are just joining in the train of sadaqah. We didn't show you the images of Bangladesh in Pakistan and India. Some of the trains, it's amazing. You can't even see the train because of the number of people in and around the trains, right? Sitting outside, inside, under, above, right? On the side, may Allah bless them because, mashallah, they get to where they're going because they have not much choice. All right, any other hands for 5,000? Yes? You call me? No. All right, 5,000 once. 5,000 twice. Sisters, you haven't raised your hand. I'm coming to the level where hopefully you'll get motivated, inshallah, to raise your hand. 5,000 twice and a half. Khair, inshallah, no problem at all. A lot of times we go through difficulty and we don't know how to make sense out of that difficulty. The Quran is one place. The Sunnah of the Prophet, the Seerah, the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, is a second place. But the scholars that came after are the third place. And one of them, in the Quran we know, for example, the Prophet his son Ibrahim passed away. His son Ibrahim was an infant, a toddler, and he passed away. This is the Prophet of Allah losing a son. And the companions came. The ones who were Muslim came, they were heartbroken that he had lost his son. But the enemies had a different agenda. The enemies were making fun of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he lost his son. Why? Because they were saying, in all of our tradition, we know when you are a man who has a son, then your name continues. When you are a man without the son, your name goes away. So they were saying, aha, look, you keep trying to spread Islam. Allah now, your Allah, tested you. He took away, all you have is daughters, your son is dead. Now what? You are abtar. Remember that word? Abtar. Abtar. That means in Arabic, you are cut off. Your message will be cut off. It will not live longer than your life. Imagine the pain he must have felt hearing them mocking him, making fun of him when he was suffering from this loss. But subhanAllah, think about what happened. He came to bury his son. His heart was grieving. His heart was grieving and he cried, and the companion said, Ya Rasulullah, you are crying? You are expressing grief? And he said what everyone should remember at the time of grief. He said that indeed, the heart does grieve. The eyes shed tears, but the tongue never says anything displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which means you accept the fate. The heart grieves, the eyes weep, they shed tears, but the tongue never says something displeasing to Allah. Think about what happened. Think about what happened. In those moments, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed a surah in the difficulty that you and I recite so fast. We rush through it because we may have a meeting, we need a short surah, we have to pray, we get it done, and the surah goes like this. Inna atayna al-kawthar. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shaniyaka abtar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh Muhammad, I'm comforting your heart, so go to the Quran for comfort. Go to the seerah for comfort. He says, Indeed, we have given you al-kawthar. And here's another dua, and everyone should say Ameen. Oh Allah, make us among those who are given a drink from the fountain of al-kawthar by the Prophet, peace be upon him. Say Ameen. And in that short surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, don't worry. They mock you, they make fun of you, your heart is broken because you lost your son. I am telling you, Inna shaniyaka, the one who makes fun of you, the one who stands up as your enemy, huwa al-abtar. That person who mocks you now, that person who is standing up against Islam, that person will be cut off. And I can tell you, if you go to the heart of Africa, where the blackest of black-skinned person or the whitest of white-skinned person, none of them are from Arabia. But all of us, including in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, how many people did you meet who say, we are Sayyid? We are Sayyid. We are of the family whose connection is back to whom? To the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who doesn't desperately want to be connected to his family? If you do that, imagine. I don't question people when they say that, mashallah, it's between them and Allah. I love the fact that they want to be connected to Him. But I've never met someone who says, oh, my family and we went to Ancestry.com and subhanAllah, we found out we are descendants from Abu Jahl. Right? And we're so happy and proud, mashallah. We are straight from Abu Jahl, and you know, Abu Lahab, all those people, we are from that. I have never met somebody who tries to connect. So who is up top? It is the people who mocked him, who made fun of him. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to move to $2,500. I need you to think of how your family can do this. How your family can give, and indeed the dua is for yourself. You will benefit from this dua if four hands go up at $2,500, we clear another $10,000. 25, 25, 25, 25, four hands, we clear another 10,000. Is there a first brother or a sister? A family, a business, a group that says, we will do, inshallah, the first 2,500. The first 2,500. Where are you tonight? For education, for health care, right? For poverty alleviation, all for our brothers and sisters of the Rohingya community. $2,500. Where are you? Make sense of what Allah has given you. Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah, in the talking about tribulations, he says, whenever Allah tests you, it is never to destroy you. Let that go into your mind and your heart. Whenever Allah tests you, it is never to destroy you. When He removes something from your possession, when Allah removes something from your possession, Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah is saying, when Allah removes something from your possession, listen carefully. It is only to empty your hands for an even greater gift. It is to empty your hands for an even greater gift. What you consider and I consider a loss, in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the emptying of our life to be replaced with an even better gift. $2,500. Where is that first person? Brother, sister, a family, a business, another masjid community, however you want to get it done, for $2,500. $2,500. Is that a $2,500, sister? You're being shy? Yes? Can we count you in? And if you did less than that, you're going to have to bump it up to $2,500. Can you do that? Would you agree? Yes? It's a free country, right? MashaAllah. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqan khalafa. Say Ameen. Right? I know the brothers are sitting here, and the sisters are sitting here, and some of you may be thinking, you know, I didn't discuss with my husband, I didn't discuss with my wife. No problem. Just take your cell phone, text your husband or your wife, and say, may Allah accept it from us, and then turn off the phone. If there's any stress or difficulty, I'm in social work, I can help you inshallah. On the way home, I'll sit in the back of your car. My flight's at 5 something, so just drop me back at LaGuardia inshallah after the counseling. 2,500, we have the first hand. Second hand, brother, sister, family, a group of friends, right? You meet each other every couple of weeks, you eat at each other's homes. Maybe that group comes together and says, inshallah, we will do 2,500. 2,500. 2,500 once, 2,500 twice. Twice. I have one hand so far. Anyone else? I know you're saving to do things. For family, for vacation, for shopping, right? All that will happen. All that will happen. There was a brother I met whose story comes to mind, who actually happened to be from Bangladesh. I met him in a community. He said, you know, I had been taking care of every member of my family when I came to America. I could not even get married. I just kept working and working and working, so-and-so could go to school, so-and-so back in Bangladesh could get married, this, that, and the other. He said that by the time I looked up, half of my life was gone. I was over 40 years old, and I thought, what will I do now? I didn't have that much money, but the masjid where he lives, they were renovating the masjid, and they needed ceiling fans. They wanted to install ceiling fans. When they were asking, something overcame him, And he said, I will sponsor all the ceiling fans. And he said, I got so scared. I didn't even know where I would get the money, but something came over me that all this Allah blessed me with, I should give back something. He said, subhanAllah, he not only got the money to get the ceiling fans for the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with marriage, and by the time he told me the story, a child was on the way. This is real life unfolding in America. Not somewhere else, not some fantasy land, it's the real life that we see. I'm going to move from 2,500 because we never overstay our welcome. And the next item on the program is, guess what? Anybody guess? Dinner. Dinner. You don't have to guess. Okay, really, it's dinner. There's nothing else happening, right? So we're going to move to that. If you were going to give less than $3 a day for the year, that would be what is $1,000 donation. That would be the equivalent of $1,000 donation. You can give it per month, you can give it every few months, however you get it done. I would think, from all of us gathered today, we can say to Nabic, because you came at the invitation of Nabic. At the invitation of Nabic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invites us in Surah Al-Fajr, right? He invites us by giving us an intimate invitation by calling us His servants. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي جَنَّتِي. The intimate invitation of Allah is, enter, O my servant, my servant. فَادْخُلِي فِي عِبَادِي وَادْخُلِي. Not, we don't say to come to a house. We always invite our best friends and close friends to do my house. You come to my house. Allah is saying, you will be guests in my Jannah, my personal invitation to you. So tonight we came because of Nabic's invitation. All of us, we're busy, all of us have meetings, people have work to do, but we came. $1,000 donation will go so far because of the currency exchange. So the dua we'll make is for the blessings. But the currency exchange will further multiply your wealth because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah will bless you and answer your dua. For what? MashaAllah. Okay. Dr. Siddiqur Rahman, MashaAllah. Another dentist. See, I'm telling you. See, because of the desserts. If we stop eating desserts, regrettably, they may be out of business. So please, keep eating desserts and then help the doctors who do the diabetes control, right? Because we have the other problem there, MashaAllah. Right? So we have our first 1,000, MashaAllah. Now, two more, MashaAllah. So I have three 1,000. Some of you may have given your hands. Is that a fourth? MashaAllah. Number 4. Number 5. May Allah bless you. Thank you so much. Number 6. MashaAllah. Number 6. Where is number 7? Thank you so much. A very young man in the back there. Are you married? Yes, he's happily married. Alhamdulillah. He's shaking his head. He said, keep moving. Can we make dua? Number 7. So 8. Number 8. You're pointing at her hand? Right? 8 and 9. MashaAllah. 8 and 9. MashaAllah. What did you see? Number 10. MashaAllah. Number 10. This is great. MashaAllah. So we have 10 people. Inshallah. And then again, if you say, I don't know if I can do the 1,000, get some friends. 250 each, you can do it. Number 11, mashallah. Number 12, mashallah. Number 13, mashallah. May Allah bless every single one of you. We'll keep making dua. I have a special dua that will include everyone who's here. Whether you give, you don't give, whatever happens, it's always the dua has to be generous. We have to be generous in our dua. I have 13 hands. 14 and 15. 14 and 15 for 1,000. We're almost done. 14 and 15 for 1,000. And again, remember, when you're making the dua, you're actually improving your connection with Allah. Number 14, mashallah. You raised 4 fingers? Because of 4,000 or? Oh, see, I'm glad my eyesight is good, mashallah. So at first I thought she was making the peace sign, but it looked like a lot of peace, mashallah. So she raised 4. So what number was I at before I asked for her? Who remembers? 13, right? And so add 13 to 4. 4 and 13, how much? 17, mashallah. A lot of the ancient mathematicians who gave amazing stuff are of your origin, you know that. So you can't mess up 13 plus 4, right? It's very straightforward. So how many more do I need to get to 20? Where are those 3 special people? The angels are recorded. The angels write, my sister, I love being a Muslim in America because parenting this new generation, Allah help us. They are a different group. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how they were given to us by Allah, but it is a daily test. Daily test. My daughter, when she was young, she was only 3 or 4 years old, She's the only daughter of three sons and one daughter. And I said to her, Asma, please. I said, you kind of stop doing this. I'm going to count till 3. You know what that means, right? You're going to get tough and time out. I'm going to count till 3. She looks at me and she goes, can you count till 4? Because she's thinking, they keep calling him doctor, but I never heard him count past 3. I wonder if he even knows what comes after 3. But I couldn't do anything. I walked away. I told my wife, please take over, because I don't know what to do at this point, right? The other guy, he is eating blueberries at night in front of his grandfather, right? The worst thing to do with the older people, eat something with sugar. So grandfather says, Hassan, please stop eating the blueberries. 1 time, Hassan doesn't stop. 2 times, Hassan doesn't stop. He says, Hassan, please stop eating the blueberries. Hassan looks at grandfather. Grandfather is telling me the story 2 days later, thank God. Grandfather says, Hassan, stop eating the blueberries. Hassan says to him, you're not my parents. Oh my Allah. My heart sank, but thankfully my dad laughed. Right? Because he was telling me the story later. You know why? Because the kids say that to each other. When the older one says to the other one, hey, do this, do that. The other one says, you're not my parent. So he heard that. So he said, I can say it to anybody. Allah. He said it to my father of all people. Right? Dr. Siraj Hussain. Allah help us. Right? So that generation, those kids, all of them are our love. When we donate, maybe donate on behalf of our children, on the blessings that they are to us. All of them are a blessing, right? So I had 17, and then by the way, my sister was disciplining her son, Allah help her. She was saying to him, look, the angels are recording whatever you're doing. They're on your right, and they're on your left, and they're writing. In the middle of that, he starts doing this. She goes, what are you doing? He says, I'm trying to mess up their handwriting. I said, oh Allah. I said, please, like what did we do wrong? What guna did we do to get these children? Right? You can't, what do you say to that? Right? That's why, by the way, I'm not worried about Islam in America. This next generation, let somebody try to mess with them. Just let them try to mess with them. You will see what happens, subhanAllah. The way they talk, how much they talk, it's exhausting how much they talk. I grew up at a time when you just had to go and learn how to use the bathroom on your own. And they just trained you and you went. Now, you have to stand in front of the bathroom, sing songs. Sing songs so they can go party and I'm like, what am I an entertainer here? For the children, go to the bathroom and get it done. Right? No, sing a song. I don't know what song goes with that, right? SubhanAllah. Alright, so I have 17, 18, 19, 20. The angels are recording. Just do your part. The food is being set up, right? In the back, mashallah. The food is being set up. It's almost done. 18, 19, 20, $1,000. If not, I'll move quickly to 500, right? It's $1.50 a day. Less than $1.50 a day. If you say, I don't know how to do that, don't drink the morning coffee outside, make it at home. Don't buy it outside, make it at home. If you say, I can't do that, you use tolls on the way to the tolls. Just get up earlier, go to your cell phone. So go to Waze or Google Maps and say, avoid tolls. Get up half an hour earlier, you can donate $500, right? How do you do it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You want righteousness, you will not achieve it until you spend from that which you love, right? $500. How many hands at 500? We had 17, mashallah, at 1,000. We can get more good news? You shook your head, no? Oh, mashallah, okay. The Arafah Islamic Center, mashallah, is giving, has donated, mashallah, $500. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqan khalafa, say ameen. Alright, any other hands? Any other hands? Maybe you give in memory of someone who removed the difficulty from your life. Because we're talking about the Rohingya population. It is very, very difficult. You know, when I mentioned intergenerational trauma, I said it fast. But I'm at Howard University. We are working in a university that's predominantly African American. It was formed after the Civil War in 1867. Some of the intergenerational trauma that is reflected in the African American population is something unimaginable as to what was done to their ancestors. And we say their ancestors, but they are our ancestors. Because 1 out of every 4 of the enslaved population, they were not slaves, they were enslaved. 1 out of 4 were Muslim. 1 out of the 4 of the people who were enslaved in America were Muslim. They were Muslim. They were Muslim. Think about that, right? Our ancestors. Any other hands at 500? 500. 500. We had 1, mashallah. Any other hands? 500 twice? Twice and a half? In memory of a teacher who back home, because of that teacher, you improved your behavior, you got better grades, and Allah opened other doors for you. Memory of your parents. MashaAllah. Number 2, MashaAllah. Number 2, I have 2 hands there. Anyone else? Should we charge the brother who's filming with the phone 500? He has his phone very high. Now he put his phone down, MashaAllah. Right? 2 hands at 500. Any other hands? 500. 500 once. 500. Oh, I do see it. Number 3, MashaAllah. Number 3, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 at 500. In the Quran or in the Hadith, the amount that you give is never mentioned, but the du'as are the same. I want you to feel that. Sometimes we feel shy. I don't want to raise my hand for what we consider to be a small amount. The dollar exchange rate into takas now, for every dollar is how much? Who's paying attention? 86? 86? Where? I can get 72. No, just right? Muslim community is really strange, by the way. When I was younger, I was volunteering at a masjid at Ramadan time. You know, fitrana, zakatul fitr. The people were coming to pray, so they told me it's $7. I was saying, $7, zakatul fitr, fitrana, $7. One uncle comes close, he goes, the other imam said $5. I said, really? You want to discuss this now? I said, if you want to give 5, give 5. But I have a business, I have to collect more money, just give and keep moving, right? He wanted to negotiate the zakat al-fitr. I said, not here, brother, right? Not here, right? Just keep moving. If you don't want to give, don't give. It's between you and Allah. Any other hands at 500? Closing out, mashallah. Number 4, okay, number 4. And where is the 5th hand? Close this out at 5. 5 times 5 is 25, another 2,500. 500. 500 once, 500 twice, the last person to jump in. Twice and a half, khair, no problem at all. We'll close out, right? My goal is to always keep you comfortable. Too many times when we gather and we talk about raising funds, people get very nervous, very angry, very frustrated, and then they have to go to dinner. And then they get acid indigestion, they get reflux, because now they're angry at the speaker, and then the food is not spicy enough, there's too much oil in the food. Everybody complains, something or the other, right? At a relief event, you ask them, MashaAllah, how was the relief event? They said the chicken was dry. I said, give me a break. You're raising money for people who didn't eat for months, and you remember that the chicken was dry. Right? I make dua for people. One uncle came, said, I have a complaint. I said, what's the complaint? He said, why don't you make dua for a second wife? I said, Allah. I said, why do you want to bring me into your drama? Right? Keep me out of your drama. Whatever you want to do, you do that, and Allah help you with that. Right? I'm not getting involved. Right? I mean, this is the state of the Muslim community. Really. I mean, I've been to places, and I think Allah's mercy, when you think of Rahman Rahim, it's when you look at the Muslim community, because of His mercy, we're going this far. If He wasn't merciful, I don't know what would happen by now. Really, I don't know what would happen by now, because we are an amazingly cute bunch of Muslims. Really. We have people yelling at the cashier because if something happened, and the t-shirt says, Islam is peace. Screaming and shouting at the person, right? Trying to go to Jummah prayer, driving like a maniac. Look at the bumper sticker, Islam is the solution. To what? Right? To what? What is it the solution to? You're trying to kill 3 people so you can go in peace and pray Jummah prayer. Right? Oh my Allah, right? So we'll conclude inshallah. I'll make dua now. And I hope that you will realize that whatever you did tonight, it's for you and your family. And the dua we're making now is for you and your family, because this is the beauty of our religion. That we never fear poverty. We never fear the wealth not being replaced. So when I make dua now, say Ameen, but do it with like passion. Feel as if you're the only person whose Ameen is going to be accepted, inshallah. And the dua will be mostly in English. Yes, ma'am, you have to. Okay? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. And is that her name on this form? Yes. MashaAllah. So a young girl. How old is Amina? Where is her? How old is Amina? Amina, how old are you? 10, MashaAllah. So you know the name Amina, the roots of the names is from the mother, right? Of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. MashaAllah, she has pledged herself. Did your mother, father approve this? Right? It's going to be a long ride home, sister, I'm telling you. Right? Okay, no, I tell people, do not bring your children to fundraising. They're like, why? You're in social work, you have 4 children, don't you love children? I love children. But the scholars tell us, the tongue is the window to your heart. And the children are a window to your money. Because you spend 5,000 on a vacation, and I ask for 500, you don't give. The children is like, come on dad, give the guy $500. And you say, hey, put your hand down. And the children are like, what about Rahma? So I'll show you Rahma on the way home. Right? You put your hand down. Don't raise your hand when this guy asks for money, because that's it, right? You buy Tesla now. You can't even drive a car, you want the car to drive itself. MashaAllah, right? So whatever you do, MashaAllah, Amina, we make dua for you and your family. She will inshallah try to get this done in 1 year. So now, listen. This young girl, 10 years old, made this. Can someone here say, you know, Amina, I will fill your pledge right now. I will be the one who gives the 500. So you get the reward, Amina, of doing it. And I just alleviated you. MashaAllah, in the back. Is that her dad? Okay, that would be too much. That would be like, mother is like, Ya Allah, I try to teach these kids lessons, and then look what happens. My wife wants to eat organic. She doesn't want the kids to eat sweets. Then when I go to speak, somebody gives me chocolate, I bring it home. She goes, what is wrong with you? Right? I keep trying not to do this. So you're not related, right? MashaAllah. Well, you could, because all the children of Adam, MashaAllah. So, MashaAllah, may Allah bless that family. They took away, Amina, you get double reward, right? Because you made the intention. Someone took it away by paying that pledge. But if you still want to do it, right? I have some other uncles who think this is very cute. I could get a little bit more, right? So please get it done, Amina. May Allah bless you. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. For the next few months, the total they'll give 20. Okay, so we did get, mashallah, another donation. Can we say the name?
Yeah, you can.
Because you live here, I'm going to leave. If they don't want their name on us, it can be a big problem.
You can.
You don't sound too sure. Okay. All right. So, mashallah, this is the Khan family. I can't go wrong. So many Khans. The Khan family, mashallah, who gave another 2,500. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqin khalafa. Say ameen. All right. So let's conclude. Mashallah. So, okay. So Mrs. Mahbub. Mashallah. Just in case Mr. Mahbub is here and he didn't know that we're doing this, they wanted to specify as Mrs. Mahbub. May Allah accept it from the family, mashallah. It's another 2,500. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqin khalafa. Say ameen. Alhamdulillah. Alright, so we're going to make dua inshallah. And most of my dua will be in English. Say ameen. And I sincerely mean this. If you have people in your family, others who are about to get married, don't, these beautiful halls are good for the reception. But for the nikah, okay, mashallah. So the latest one was Brother Nazi Muntasir, mashallah. Another $1,000. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqin khalafa. Say ameen. So do the reception in a hotel, banquet hall, whatever you want to do. But the nikah, the kitab, the katb kitab, do that in the masjid. Do that part in the masjid. And I'll tell you that, subhanAllah, tell the masjid we want to rent the facility between Asr prayer and Maghrib prayer on a Friday. The du'as at that period is something incomprehensible by the human mind. Say to them, surprise them. Say to them, we want you to send out the invitation to every single name on your mailing list. And if you only serve one bottle of water and a date, just one date and a bottle of water, but someone shows up who received the invitation. You never met them. Majority of us here are from Bangladesh. You never met them. They're not even from Bangladesh. They're not even from the community that you know. But they were on the mailing list, they got the invitation. They show up and they sit down. The Imam, every Imam makes the similar dua. The Imam says, oh Allah, bless this young man and this young woman. Actually, they can be old. So bless this husband, this groom and bride. Protect their progeny, their children, and protect them from harm. That person you never met listens to the dua, sincerely says, Ameen. And subhanAllah, because of that person's Ameen, their entire life will be protected. This is how beautiful our religion is. So now when you say Ameen, be selfish and say, oh Allah, accept my Ameen, because the rest of them are thinking about dinner. Right? So if you think that way, then everyone is competing for the Ameen to be accepted, and inshallah Allah will accept the dua. Allahumma ya Allah. Oh, sorry. Ikna Relief just gave us another 500, mashallah. Takbir. Allahumma ati munfiqin khalafa. Say ameen. This is beautiful for organizations to support each other, and may Allah bless them also for their efforts. Allahumma ya Allah, ya dal jalali wal kamali wal ikram. Allahumma a'izz al-Islam al-Muslimin. Allahumma ansur Islam al-Mujahideen fi kulli makan. Ya Azizu ya Jabbar, ya Kareemu ya Ghaffar. Oh Allah, bless every single person who thought about coming tonight but was unable to come. Bless them for their intention. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, bless every single person who actually was able to join us and is present with us today. Bless them for their participation. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, bless every single person who is thinking about giving or who has already given. Bless them for whatever they're giving. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, multiply their blessings. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, replace what they have spent tonight. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, indeed tonight, if one of your servants made a dua before they made a donation, we beg you sincerely to answer their dua. Say Ameen. Indeed, oh Allah, if they made dua for better health, we ask you to grant them shifa, healing, and a lasting recovery. Say Ameen. We ask you to grant them indeed healthy and loving and beautiful and meaningful relationships between husbands and wives, and parents and children, and uncles and aunts and grandparents and in-laws. Oh Allah, grant all of us healthy and loving and meaningful relationships. Say Ameen. Indeed, oh Allah, bless the founders and the staff and the volunteers of Nabic, both here and in Bangladesh, with the partners that we have there. Say Ameen. Oh Allah, whatever we were able to raise tonight, help all of it, oh Allah, to reach those who are most vulnerable and in need. Say Ameen. Restore peace and tranquility into their lives. Say Ameen. Indeed, oh Allah, if they're suffering from health consequences, oh Allah, restore them to good health. Say Ameen. Indeed, oh Allah, bless the hands that cooked the food that we are about to eat. Say Ameen. Bless indeed, oh Allah, the volunteers who are able to set up and who will stay behind to clean up long after we're gone. Say Ameen. And indeed, oh Allah, help every single person to reach home safely. Ameen, Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.